Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
What's up? Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. Yeah. Coming back from a crescent weekend. Yeah. You're right, Virginia. I think we need like a weekend for the weekends, man.
The weekend was more exhausting than the work week.
Gosh, I know. A lot of times we only have ourselves to blame, but, still, gosh, it'd be nice.
You know what's going to be nice this upcoming weekend because we don't have a lot, so it's going to be chiller.
Yep.
Way chiller.
Seems a little bit more chill.
Yes,
yeah, no doubt.
Yes.
No doubt. Yeah, I always try to look ahead now, see what's going on for the upcoming weekend. Might do a little something different this weekend, but maybe somebody can give me a little insight because I've never done it before, but every year I'm like, why don't I do that event? It's called the Florida Derby. And it is the last race pretty much before the Kentucky Derby. And so it's kind of like the final qualifier. So pretty much all those horses that you're going to see in the Kentucky Derby run in the Florida Derby. And it's a big horse race. And I don't think I've ever been to a horse race at Gulfstream Park. I went there.
It's massive.
Yeah, I went there to kind of like have a couple cocktails one time to the park that's right around Gulfstream. And, they have some great restaurants all around it. But, yeah, I've never gone in there to watch a horse race. And this, I think, I know they had that, huge race with all the money on it. But I think this might be, as far as importance goes, not necessarily cash, but I think this is the big one.
A qualifier.
Yeah, I think, and this is, I believe, the last race before the Kentucky Derby.
Interesting. And when did it go down?
It's going down this Saturday.
This Saturday, coming up.
Yeah, coming up. And so I'm thinking about going down, but I don't know anything about, like getting tickets, how you get tickets, what's the viewing like, and those are always the ins and outs that really do kind of matter when you go to an event.
I wish Uncle Bill was here. Panda's Uncle Bill, he's all in that horse racing world.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He used to train horses, and so he understands, like, how to do it, where to go, how to show you how to gamble, all that.
Let's put some money down on this thing. Let's let it ride. I don't know dick about these horses. Hadn't stopped us before.
Yeah. So that's something. You can go in there and throw some money on the ponies.
I never knew anything about the dog track, and the very first bet I did, I won $53, I think.
I
knew nothing.
You're a natural.
Yeah, but then I lost for 15 years in a row after.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm not even kidding you. Real cold streak after.
It's almost like they know, and they somehow just throw you a bone and be like, yeah, don't worry, we'll definitely get more than that back.
They drug deal you. It's the gateway. They get you hooked. They get you hooked, and then they take your money.
Might be. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking about maybe doing that, and then the Marlins play the Cubs this coming weekend. It's the regular season starts on Thursday, so spring training's over. It's all done. No more of that. Yeah. So already trying to figure out what I'm going to do this weekend. See, it's a couple options. Yeah, other than that, though, I don't know if there's much going on. It's Easter weekend.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be pretty quiet, the rest of the stuff going on.
I got to put on my bunny costume this week and mess with people. That's my plan.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to scare people in that bunny costume. It is so much fun.
What's a horrifying costume?
Yeah, it is.
I got you that new mask, too.
Yeah, I'm not as horrifying now.
That's a pretty horrifying bunny. What are you talking about?
The old one was really scary. He was like a murder bunny.
Yeah, no, you're right.
This
he was.
One's just, how I'm going to scare people with this one is I'm going to be like, waiting for them by their car at night when they come to get in their car.
Do you want to pour blood on its head?
No.
Give it a little bit of extra...
A little pizzazz.
Yeah. So,
Bloody bunny.
If it's not horrifying enough.
Got an email from Therese. Said, hey, calling out all the ungrateful Toys R Us and Babies R Us shoppers. You guys didn't care about these places all these years, and now that they're going out of business, y'all want to praise the workers and say how much you love them in one breath, but berate the associates and demand everything for 50 cents in the next breath. Please go home and shop at Amazon.
Are they directing that to me? Because I've always had nothing but love for Toys R Us. We're dropping our Toys R Us love video today.
Yeah. I don't know if it's anybody in particular in
I
here.
think they were in the store and they didn't like the way people were acting, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Okay.
I'm old school Toys R Us fan. Me and my dad are reminiscing. Toys R Us was a very big deal for our family because my dad was reminding me when he didn't have any money, he would just take us there and buy like $1 toys and kind of trick us to thinking that was a big deal. And it worked. And it was so much fun. Aww. We were always in Toys R Us as kids.
Yeah.
Love it.
It was a great experience that the next next generation won't have.
For me, it meant a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And she also says, also calling out Virginia in a good way for letting Jaybird know that he doesn't have enough melanin to use the word woke in everyday vernacular. I do know there was a debate about that.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That's so not true.
I'm the middleman.
We had about 30 calls saying woke can be about enlightenment, period.
I'm just the middleman. I just don't want you to be offending people. That's all.
Well, I'm not. I mean,
I always try to look out for you.
that's weird because you offend people all the time.
I try not to do racially offensive stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not. But here's the thing.
I'm just telling you what people told me.
But I'm not. When I'm saying it, I'm not at all bringing race into it.
I know, but some people hear that, though. They think it's just about a racial thing.
Well, when I say it, I'm changing the game. I'm not. It's nothing to do with race.
Okay, sweet cheeks.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those words I don't understand. There's a lot of things as I get older I just don't understand.
I don't either, and that's why I don't use it,
No,
because
I
I
don't
don't entirely know what it means.
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore, Virginia. Talking about drunken grandmas, Stephanie sent us an email and said, I heard the joke about Virginia being a drunken grandma, and it reminded me of a bar shift of mine in Boca, a Tuesday day shift, and these two older ladies come in. The older of the two asked if I knew how to make a decent old-fashioned because kids your age never do it right. I told her I learned to tend bar at a whiskey town, NOLA, and I would try. She loved it and had 3 before 4 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Okay.
Then told me it was her birthday. She was 96 years old.
Dang.
She came in without a walker and had 3 old fashions. Funny thing is, she said the trick to staying young is that she drinks every day, but only brown, went out, and gin at the house and said, I'm pickled.
Pickled?
Pickled.
Interesting.
So there you go. That's her secret to a long life.
Old people do love gin.
They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not man enough.
I love a gin martini, and I'm old, so there you go.
That stuff is tough. Yeah. Got this from Al Green in the Pizzle. Said, Kev, heard you on Friday's ATS podcast talking about your love for the IPAs. I, too, share the same love. Also remember you mentioning that you think the essential oils you use are giving you man boobs. I think you're making the wrong connection. I found this article a while ago that may perk your attention. It was IPAs are giving you man boobs.
IPA is giving you titties?
Apparently everything's giving me titties, Virginia. I'm going to just be a dude with big-ass titties.
And that's okay.
That's just it, yeah.
Well, I know Dr. Rankin to be happy to give you a breast reduction.
Yeah, I'm good right now. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Maybe in the future. Hasn't stopped me from drinking my IPAs. Hands down my favorite style of beer. Also wanted to say that the all-day IPA from Founders is my favorite crushable beer, too. Yeah, it's the way to go. It's like a 4%er. So if you do like the IPAs, otherwise, if you're looking to be out and having 4 or 5 and you have regular IPAs, you might be a little shredder.
You will be.
Yeah.
Shitty with titties.
Shitty with titties. Yeah.
That has to be. Someone's had to have done that.
That was me and Jaybird on the float yesterday. They put the Mako cheerleaders on our float, which is fun to look at.
Okay, yeah.
We got shitty with titties.
Right on, baby. Oh, yeah. I got this from Engineer Keith. He said, I don't know for certain, but I have a strong suspicion that the racetrack near the radio station took down my credit card number when I went in there last.
Really? How'd they get it?
I was there on Tuesday, and I couldn't use the outside card readers to get gas. I tried 3 different ones. Yeah, I always have a problem with that, too. That gas station more than any others, I go and I'm sliding my card in, nothing happens.
It doesn't take it.
It doesn't take it.
It doesn't even act like it went in.
Yeah.
Like, it just completely ignores it.
Right, and so you pull around to another pump, and it's like, yeah.
It's real fishy.
Yeah, so I went inside and I paid for gas the old-fashioned way, and either one of the pumps outside had a skimmer or the lady inside skimmed my card. I haven't used it too many other places since then, and that's the sketchiest place I've been since Tuesday. All the purchases were for under $100, some as low as $1.35 at McDonald's, one at Target, and a few places I'd never heard of. All that being said, I could be wrong. It might have happened somewhere else, but I doubt it. I think I had my card, same thing. Somebody got my info, and I think that I tracked it back to there.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was one of the places listed. Yeah, I mean, every gas station is suspect.
But the busier ones where the employees can't keep an eye on the outside area, that's where they say they put those skimmers.
And I think the ones closer to 95 also had a propensity to have skimmers. That was one of the signs. And that racetrack is pretty close to 95. So it's just easier access. They're just going up and down and trying to find gas stations without having to drive too far east to west. So, yeah, that's part of it. Let me see. Melissa here said, listening to your show this morning, and I was taken aback by a comment you made during your Dirt of the Day segment. I found it irresponsible of you to say that CNN doesn't like Trump. As someone who works in media, you especially should know and understand that reporters do the best that they can to share accurate and factual information. There's a difference between CNN actually saying they don't like Trump, which they did not or never have, and CNN reporting real, not fake news that Trump doesn't agree with or isn't happy about. Have your personal political opinions, but like CNN and all other news and media outlet reporters, do your best to share accurate and factual information with your listeners. Sincerely, Melissa.
See, you offend people too, Virginia.
No, actually, they don't like Trump, and I stand by that.
I
don't care either way. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm not on Trump's side. I'm not on CNN's side. But it's blatantly obvious when you watch CNN that they don't like Trump. They even make fun of him and go out of their way to call him a liar and call him this and call him that. And if you turn it over to Fox News, it's a completely different atmosphere. There's no laughing at Trump. There's no poking fun at Trump. It's just two different networks with two different political agendas.
You're going to get a lot of emails today from this podcast.
I don't give a shit.
Well,
it's just the truth. And I have no political agenda.
Just got on me for not wanting to offend people.
Because you're not woke.
Then you go and do the same fucking thing. Holy shit.
It's not racial.
You got a lot of... I am not deliberately trying to be racial. If I'm ignorant for that, then I'm ignorant for not knowing. But when I say woke, I'm talking about just pure enlightenment. I don't know why you got to get mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. I never was mad at you. I was just telling you what my friend told me, just so you would know.
Yeah, I hear you, and I'm just telling you what some of my friends said too. So there was a lot of confusion about it.
I just think that people that are black hear woke. If it's said by a black person, it's different than if it's said by a white guy. That's all I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, and that's
how it's interpreted.
That's completely cool. That's the first time I've been saying it for a long time. That's the first time anyone's ever said it to me. So
I know you don't mean anything racial by it.
Yeah, of course I don't.
But I'm just telling you how someone who is black might be hearing it, just so you can know.
Woke, Urban Dictionary says, getting woke is like being in the Matrix and taking the red pill. You get a sudden understanding of what's really going on and find out you were wrong about much of what you understood to be truth.
So, I mean, I'm just telling you that I had a lot of people tell me that woke had nothing to do with race. So
okay.
that's
well,
all
then
I'm
maybe
saying.
My girlfriend is wrong.
Yeah, because you're the. I've heard more on the other side that it's more about enlightenment than anything about race.
I've heard it's about race, and I didn't know about the enlightenment part of it.
Definition number 4 of woke says, being woke means being aware, knowing what's going on in the community relating to racism and social injustice. So
it's got several different meanings, which, again, if someone's going to be offended by that, just know that I was using it in the first term. And I don't know what else to say. I'm clearly not trying to be offensive.
No, and that's why I wanted you to know.
But Kevin just read the first one that said it's got nothing to do with race.
But then you read the other one that
which
said
was
it did.
the fourth definition.
I'm just telling you. You don't have to agree with it. I just want you to know what's out there.
No. World's a crazy place, y'all.
It is. Well, I mean, one of us says something that offends somebody every single day.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I don't know that honestly anymore. You really can do much without offending somebody.
You're right.
Yeah. It's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, you're completely right about that, and it's kind of tiring.
It is,
especially when you're. My whole thing is look at the intent of what somebody means, and please just do that. You're going to save a lot of drama that way.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, look at the intent of what somebody has and then say, okay, well, you can help them. People don't like to be scolded.
They definitely do, or made to feel like they're a bad person or they're doing something wrong or they want something bad for somebody. You see what I'm saying?
The best approach is to just have a discussion, and through having a nice civil discussion, people go, okay, I'm learning some stuff. I'm getting new awareness. That's great. I'm seeing a different perception of things. It's a good way to do it.
It is, but I think people, when people don't agree with one another, you're expecting everyone to be calm and cool, and that's not how humans are built.
I saw something they flashed on the screen earlier today, and there's one community that is trying to, because they feel that social media has kind of built up this wall where people go on there and they just scream and they're angry and they don't listen and there's no dialogue that's happening. It's just a wall of noise up against a wall of noise. And so they're trying to get people say, forget the social media. Let's all sit down in a room and let's try to have a civil discussion.
Well, you've always wanted that.
I have. And that's why I was like, God, that's so good, because it does. When you see another human sitting in front of you and you're not behind a keyboard, I think there's a much different dynamic. And when somebody's speaking calmly saying, this is how I feel and I'm concerned because of this, then you're like going, okay, I see you. You're a real person. You're a good person. You mean well. You've got a different approach to this. And let me see where we have common ground and we can build on something. And that might really be what we need in today's environment, is for people to sit down in rooms together and actually start talking instead of trying to do everything on a keyboard.
Yeah, so I think social media has brought a lot of, and I keep saying it, I'm not to beat this dead horse, but it's really affecting how people react to one another. It's creating an atmosphere, without a doubt.
I think Facebook's taken a major hit. I do. I think that they are tumbling. I think with what happened with them, with not only the negativity of what is going on and what's happening in our world, and some of that blame going on to us saying enough of social media, and then the realization that it happened, that story that came out about how all this information is being leaked. I think there are a lot of, it'll be interesting to see what happens to Facebook and social media in the next year and where it is a year from now, because I almost feel like us as a society is kind of reaching a tipping point with it, where it was such a novelty and it was so amazing for so long in us connecting, but it's really reshaped our culture in a much more negative way, where we can't have any kind of dialogue and people can't talk or discuss, and it's built up these walls where I really hope, I'm rooting for it, actually. Not to say it is the devil, but I think that it needs to be corrected and used a proper way, and it hasn't been, and I hope it corrects itself. But at the same time, I hope that we start finding ways that we can start connecting as humans again, and get over kind of what we've done, the social media stuff, and how it's changed us for the worse. I think a lot of people, I think there is an awareness of that now. I think it's changing a bit.
Well, it's also too the amount and how quick you can get really just negative bullshit on. You are never able to get it this quick, where if something bad happens in the world, you know about it instantly. There's a video about it. There's already commentary about it. There's opinions. There's the whatever's going on. And that happens at such an alarming rate. It's in the history of humanity, that's never happened.
Something, too, about the comment section on social media, it feels, I think, to a lot of people like it's a contest. Like it's a win or lose kind of thing with what you were saying. You're in an argument and you win or you lose.
Well, everybody's watching.
Yeah, everybody's watching. And, and I've had some things where people come after me, and, I had something even over the weekend that I was kind of dealing with, and, somebody was kind of, coming at me, and I was like, I'm not here to fight, man. I'm like, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give you what you want. Like, I just want to say,
what was it about?
Here's a quick opinion. Had to do with, and I expected it. Had to do with the whole, with the march and everything that's on there. I put it on my own personal Facebook page, being out there, and somebody was just like, oh, Kev, these kids are being used for a pawn. I said, look, I told you guys when it all came up, and I said, my whole take with it was, I want kids to not be afraid to go to school, and I want there to be a discussion on how to make school safer. And I said, that's it. It ended at that. I had no thing about the gun control and all that kind of stuff. That's not the point that I'm making. It's just the point that I was making, and why I support them is, one, you have a constitutional right to be able to express your voice, and they should be allowed to do that. And so no matter what they want to say, and if you don't like it, they should have that right to do that. I feel and believe in that. And two, I believe it's a discussion that we should try to have and come up with a good solution. Not doing anything, I think, is the wrong thing. And that was it. And so, it wasn't bad, but I didn't want that on either side. I didn't want people like fighting on this whole thing. And I was like, look, let them express it. That's why, to me, I thought it was really encouraging to come through the weekend and not have stories of there was any kind of violence or anything bad happen. It seemed like people did it, and you can agree with it or disagree with what happened. But the good thing was that, there was a platform where people could say their voice, whether you agreed or disagreed, or whether you thought they had an agenda or not. And it wound up peaceful.
Do you want to get Denny's in here so he can go over his controversial topic now?
Well, that's just, I think that is a point that it's hard to have any kind of discussions or say anything without being controversial. And I don't let it. I've gotten to a point now where I think, a lot of times you try to avoid it, but look, I mean, if it keeps you from ever saying anything, that's not right either. That you should never feel like you can say something or ever express your opinion. I don't think that's right either, because then in a sense, that's what some people want. Oh, okay, I've made them so afraid to ever speak that they'll never say anything at all because they don't want any kind of backlash. And, some people are that way. And I think, look, if you've got an opinion, there's nothing wrong with expressing it.
Well, if it's truly how you feel in your soul and in your heart, you shouldn't be afraid to express it.
We should all be saying, hey, what's your opinion? And listen and be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's how you feel. And that's fine that you feel that way. And you should be able to take it and absorb it and be like, going, okay, they feel that way, they feel that way.
Unfortunately, and I like to say that I'm more on the dreamer level when it comes to things, but it's not going to happen. People are too... When it comes to any of this stuff, people have their own way of thinking about it, and I just don't know if it's going to change. No matter you could sing, I want it to be kumbaya, I want it to be peaceful, I want us to have picnics and talk politics. I just don't know if that's going to happen.
But it doesn't mean that it should dictate how you handle yourself in the world. You shouldn't at the same time ever suppress your voice just because you're afraid of being controversial and you're afraid that people are going to say bad things. I think if you do it respectfully and you want to say your opinion, your voice, that you should always be able to do that. And that's what those kids did over the weekend. They said their voice and they said their piece, and they should have that right to do that. And we all should be able to have our right to do that. So hopefully people can do it. Hopefully people are cool enough that they can respect it and be like, I completely disagree with what they're saying, but that's okay.
You're awfully quiet, Sinicki, which is rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all you got?
For me, I don't understand all of it enough to get to pick a side. So I'm just going to go, okay.
Yeah, I've read a lot more up on it, and I think that's a big part of it, is that there is...
You have to learn it.
Yeah, you do, and there's a lot of intricate little issues that people should know, and as I started to read a little bit more, I mean, I see comments on both sides, but I see the core being, let's keep kids safe at school, and, let's try to whittle away, and, let's just cut out the other bullshit, and let's get right to the point where that's the ultimate agenda here, is keeping kids safe at school and not having kids be afraid at school. I think if that were the core, we all tried to approach it from that level, that we'd have more progress on it, because people are trying to make it outside fringe political agendas, sometimes to the point where it gets unrelated to what the whole story is in the first place.
Welcome to American politics, Kevin.
Yeah.
That's why. I mean, that's
Everybody's got an agenda, and they're all going to promote and push whatever that agenda is, and sometimes it's a wolf in sheep's clothing, and it's just it's really muddy, and it's about money.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
A lot of life is. Let me see here. What else we got going on here today? I think that's about it. We got the volunteer army that is together. We're going to be doing something with the Habitat for Humanity. Haven't done anything with them yet, which is kind of cool.
not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, that Saturday.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Not Easter Saturday, but the 7th of April.
Yes, exactly. So that is something you can go check out if you want to go volunteer for that. Go hit that at kvjshow.com. Let me see here. One last quick call out here. Somebody emailed in, said, I'd like to call out everyone at the KVJ show for constantly forcing me to listen to your immature, smug, loud-mouthed, drunken, balls on face, and weed humor just so that I can laugh and enjoy 4.5 hours of my day. Due to so many personal struggles, oftentimes the show is the only good parts of my day. And for that, I have to say thank you all. Keep up the great work. Thanks, Josh. So there you go.
Well, that's very kind.
Thank you.
Very
Josh.
nice.
Very kind.
Very nice. All right, you guys have a fantastic day. If you got a little bit of hunger going on, all you have to do is go to Bud's Chicken and Seafood. 7 locations in Palm Beach County.
Jay Bird was wearing his Bud's t-shirt yesterday at Pride Fest. Got a lot of chatter.
It always does. I love my Bud shirt.
Yeah. It's a good swag. They got those at the restaurants if people want to pick one up?
They do not, actually.
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
That is a made.
That's insiders only?
That is.
Well, he made a sauce. I mean, he gets
Yeah.
the shirt when he makes the sauce.
You're right.
Okay. Well, there you go. I guess if you want one of those shirts, you got to create your own sauce for Buds. You got the bird sauce, you got the Bud sauce, you got all kinds of good stuff there. Buds, chicken and seafood. Check them out. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.